Hey, what's going on, world? This is your girl, Queen Aishah, and thank you so much for joining us for another dope episode of I Know Dope People. And today, my guest is Thema Azize Serwa of the Womb Sauna, located in Riverdale, Maryland. And we're going to talk to you about how you get your womb right and a whole body connection and the whole body connection, right? So, the focus of the show, the topic of the show is called womb work. Okay, before we get started with Thema, I'm going to touch on a few things in Queen's Quickies. The weather is getting warm in Atlanta. So, first of all, I'm very excited because it was very disrespectful a few days, like earlier in the week and last week, it was like 20 and 30 degrees. I was like, where they do that at? I had to take my whole comforter back out. I had just changed over my summer clothes. I'm like, warm weather coming through. Yes, get out your powder to stay cool so you don't get moist, ladies and gentlemen, because you know how it happens. So yes, so enjoy your weather wherever you are. If it's really nice, if it's not, stay in the house, be warm, and I'll enjoy the warm temperatures for you over here. Also, I wanted to let you all know the tax deadline is this coming Tuesday, April 18th. I did my taxes already, so if you haven't done your taxes, just know that the deadline is April 18th, not today, April 15th, because it's on a weekend. You got some extra days, grace, boo-boo, grace. And all of y'all that got y'all tax return and y'all had extra money and all that, that's cute. Send me something. Let me hold something because I owe something. I want to also let y'all know that Odell Beckham, formerly of the LA Rams, is now with the Baltimore Ravens. We do not, I look kind of cute with my hair behind his. We do not have a picture of him yet in his Ravens uniform, but we're gonna let the Rams rock one more time. All right, congratulations. Yo, Odell, like if you're in Baltimore, April 27th, you can come see me at the Baltimore Comedy Factory. I will be live there. That's a Thursday, 8 p.m. Get your tickets now. They're actually having a $5, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, $5 flash sale. I'm not sure how long they do the flash sale for, so you want to get your tickets as soon as possible. We are going to have an amazing time. I haven't been performed at Baltimore Comedy Factory since 2019, I believe. Since 2019, pre-pandemic. So we got a lot of catching up to do. So we want you to come out, show out, and let's catch up, cut up, and laugh up. Okay, me and Katanya kind of created that. That's a little, yeah. So come on through. We're gonna have a wonderful time. I might have my mommy there because y'all know I always talk about my mother, and she's been on the show. So she will probably make a guest appearance because you know she is booked and busy because that's how Geraldine Gigi get down. All right, so we are going to now bring on our guest for today. Again, her name is Thema Azize Serwa. She is the founder and owner of the Womb Sauna. Me and Thema actually met in 2013. She was referred to me, or I was referred to her by a very good friend, Natasha Jackson. And Natasha was on the show a few weeks ago, about a month or so ago, talking about fibroid healing. And we did mention Thema then. So that's when I actually started doing my womb work, my healing. And you never know how much stuff is going to come up and what you got to do. And like, when I tell you, I remember Thema being in the trenches with me, like sitting at my feet as I was steaming and just having me bring it up and out. And Thema, I also joined you when you would have the journaling workshops on Sundays, how you spoke to us about, I can't remember the term, but how we can like draw money to us.
Yes.
Through sex.
We're gonna do that this morning.
And let me say, I'm fully, we can talk about it. We can give the people some tips. But Thema, you were just like amazing. So the website is thewombsauna.com. So Thema, I'm going to share some information because Thema is so extraordinary. So here's the thing. I have so many great friends. And what I love is the challenge and the stretch of when I have you all on the show. I have to do the work now. And I'm like, oh, I know that. And I know that. Like if you see Thema when she posts her videos and stuff, it's so powerful. The information, it may be a video of someone else speaking, but her facial expressions and then her comments and commentary is so powerful. And it's like these little nuggets that really keep us encouraged and empowered. And then on our sacred seat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that is just really dope. So you said your empowerment is your passion. when you learn that, it says, when I learned that behind my curtains of fear and insecurity was a profound message that my womb had been trying to, what your womb had been trying to tell you. I'm raw and unapologetically powerful. I healed, I healed, I healed so well that some doctors thought that it was a misdiagnosis. I prayed for the ability to be a living demonstration of a woman who has healed everything every day, and opportunity for me to just do it. I think that's amazing. That's amazing. So I want you to share your story, and then also like your greatest blessing is your baby.
Yeah. I
Yes.
can't wait for you to see her, Aisha. She's
And I
7
just
now.
saw
Can you
pictures.
believe
I
it?
know. I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I saw the pictures and how you said how you just make sure that you empower her with so much information that when she sees mediocrity, she's not even entertaining it.
Not
She doesn't
even.
accept it.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Tama. Go ahead and share your story.
Well,
It's the womb sauna.
good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Aisha, you know I love and adore you, and it's always an honor
Thank
when
you.
we connect. Thank you for sharing your audience and your platform with me. I do not take that for granted.
Yes,
I think what you're doing is fabulous. I remember when I saw the email, I was like, yes, 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 podcast. So, for those of you listening, I really like to just
They can see
introduce
you too. They
myself.
can see you too. They can see
Oh,
you.
good, good. I like to introduce myself as a woman who is demonstrating what it looks like to be satisfied with your life. And for years, it took me a while to figure out what I truly wanted and then how to create that. And it was through being in a health crisis with my womb that put it all in motion. When I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and doctors looked at me in my 20s and said, "You'll never have a child on your own. You need to get your money together and get IVF." I was devastated for two reasons. One, I was going through a divorce at that time. And so I already had something that was being demolished. But then I'm in my 20s. What do you mean? I want family. But I'm the type of woman, and this is what I give women through my work, that when the odds are stacked against me, I just redefine the odds. Nobody's truth is going to override mine. And so when women come to the womb sauna and they pop this squat with me, they may be coming for fibroids, they may be coming for infertility, PMS, endometriosis. I get to the root of it though, because most of the physical diseases are birthed in our emotional and spiritual body. So the body keeps score and it's teaching us that you aren't paying attention to certain things that are taking root in your body. So, Aisha, if I may, I want to share my biggest healing assignment that hit me the end of last year, because I literally just started talking about it publicly a couple days ago. So I feel like it's relevant. 10/10/22, October 10th, 2022, I had a colonoscopy. 10/17, I got diagnosed with rectal cancer under 40. Can you believe that? I made up my mind that in less than 30 days, I would release the cancer from my body. By 11/11/2022, they could not trace it in my body, not in the MRIs, the CT scans. They couldn't even find the tumor anymore. By 12/12, look at the numbers. By 12/12/2022, I had decided to let them enter my body to make sure that the doctors also knew how powerful this healing work that I do is. And they couldn't find a thing. 10/10/11/11/12/12. I'm telling you, listeners, this for a reason. It doesn't matter if it's cancer, PCOS, diabetes, high cholesterol, or any of that. Your body is obedient to your consciousness. And what cancer taught me was how much resentment I was holding in my body to being needed, and how I had created these tumors to store years of chronic disappointment. I had to learn how to process the sadness without being sad. I had to learn how to process the anger without being angry. I had to teach my body what to feel. So that's the nature of my work. Women, they've come from all over the world to come pop this squat with me. I have programs My company is now in 15 different countries. I have certified practitioners all over the world. I run programs. I'm happy to just be amongst the people demonstrating that you really can heal anything.
Well, this is just, first of all, congratulations. That is awesome.
Yeah, girl. That was intense, though.
I know, I'm sure, because that's what I was going to ask you. So, first of all, I know that the doctors was like blown away.
Yeah.
I know they were like, huh, what happened? Did we read this wrong? I was telling someone the other day, I said, physicians, not to take anything away from doctors, because y'all do that's a lot of work and study. I don't take that for granted, but they are practicing physicians. So that's what it is. They are constantly practicing. Things are forever changing. Science is science.
It is.
Science is science. So what were some of the comments that the doctors said, the specialist said, when they said, what happened? Did we get this wrong? Is this somebody else's paperwork?
Right. It was hilarious because, see, my GI doctor with the colonoscopy, they had found 2 tumors. One was precancerous. They removed that one, thank God. The second one, though, was so large, that's why he referred me to the surgeon. So that window of time between the GI and the surgeon, by the time I got to the surgeon for the sigmoidoscopy, this one I'm awake for. He's going up and down. Can we cuss on this podcast? No. He's in my ass up and down with this camera, right? And this is strange for me. I'm like, what is going on? This is not how I like it. You know? He's going up and down. And I'm looking at the expression on his face, and it's so confused. I said, doctor, what is the matter? He said, he couldn't even find the scar site for the one they removed. And he couldn't find the other 2. So he calls the nurse. He said, I know your GI referred you to me for a reason. And I'm just sitting there trusting the process, accepting and allowing the testimony to cement. Because I know who I am. And I know who God is. So it was fascinating. So by the time we got to the surgery, I got a second opinion with an oncologist, and he said, the precancerous tumor released a fluid called mucin, and it was cancerous. They want to make sure it wasn't in the lining. And I remember sitting there like, I really don't want my body to be entered. But the office was sitting on a lake of water, and I just saw the water just flowing with ease. And I said, Thema, release all resistance. Because maybe this is bigger than you. And I could hear Holy Spirit like, you know what? Let's show these doctors who you are and who your God is. So I said, fine, y'all can enter my body. And it was scheduled on 12/12. And when they went in, they was going to keep me overnight, but it was so fast, they let me go home the same day. There was nothing there. Girl, if we wasn't doing this podcast, I would get up and run and shout. It feels good to publicly talk about it. It was very sacred for me. So I've been waiting to share.
I'm glad you told us and trusted us with it.
Yeah, it was powerful.
You just dropping all types of juice today. Release all resistance. I know everybody can relate to that.
Yeah. That's how we get in pain, Aishah.
Yes.
Because we wish it was any way other than what it is. But when you drop into acceptance, you get relief.
Any way but what it is. Wow. So tell us the steps, Thema. Tell us the steps. What did you do to heal, to free yourself of the cancer? What process did you go through? I'm sure prayer, meditation.
Of course. I literally was walking through the woods. I leveraged a lot of being in nature because I've done a lot of studying throughout the years. I've been doing this now for 10 years. So I knew that putting my bare feet on the earth would provide some medicine. I knew that hugging trees and deep breath and being in the sun. I already keep a lot of great nutrition in my body. That's why I was so shocked by the diagnosis, because I eat my cruciferous. I get about 15 servings of green between what I eat and what I drink. So I continue to do that. I threw in some sour sop. Sour sop is really good for regenerating the cells. But honestly, the majority of my work was in my emotional body. And once I realized that, I was listening to a lot of Joe Dispenza. And I thought I was doing something by decreeing I was going to release it in 30 days. Girl, he had a meditation on how to release it in 4 hours. I said, okay, Thema, go up. Like, you ain't got to wait.
Go up.
So I'll share, I knew the moment I had released it. I had did the surgery in spirit because I was on the acupuncturist table. My acupuncturist is a shaman and a Chinese medicine doctor. The sister is bad. Shout out to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was beating the drum over me. And I had finally started talking to God because, in full transparency, when this diagnosis hit, I stopped talking to God. I was like, I was very upset that you would add cancer to my things to do list. I'm busy, you know? But as she was beating the drum, Aisha, I decided it's time to sit with God. And I said to God, I don't want to fight if I'm going to lose. And God said, then don't lose. This isn't my battle. It's yours. You know how to heal everything, Thema. I was like, oh, okay. So either you're going to let this be your way out or your way in. I decided in that moment, I'm going to let it be my way in. For 48 hours, if you had looked at my rectum where the tumor was, it was doing this. It was just pulsing. And I said, oh, it's leaving my body. And right after that, this is within 9 days of the diagnosis. Right after that was scheduled my CT scan, my blood work, and the MRI. And they all couldn't trace no cancer and no tumor. So I really wrapped it up in 9 days, but I just, I needed to let it cement for 30. Right. But it was emotional. I had so much disappointment that I stored in my body, that my body was wise enough to do whatever was needed to get me to address it. And that's what I want to say to those of you listening. Please stop treating the way in which your body is trying to survive what's unresolved in your heart as violence or your body working against you. Your body will do whatever it needs to do to get you to live your best life.
You better say it.
So it's just an alarm. It's saying, hey, Boo Boo the fool is still in here. I'm gonna need you to get this fool's energy out. Hey, I don't think you realize the depth of what you've been carrying because of your mommy wound or your daddy wound, or your body is just trying to get you to recognize how you're really living.
So how would you say, what advice would you give to someone on healing and releasing? Someone that they're watching for the first time and they don't know, they have no idea of what you're speaking of. Because Thema, you were on it. You was like, you did your work at home, and then you was like, I went to my acupuncturist. You know what I'm saying? And she, like, you talking about tones and stuff. So she already knew, the work that needed to be done, but you were so on it. Like, what would you say to someone that's dealing with any issue, even if it's just emotional and nothing has showed up in the body, yet they're just dealing with a lot of emotions, depression and stuff? What steps would you say to them to take first?
So my first recommendation is to understand that healing starts with a decision to heal. It doesn't start with a feeling. So just because you've made the decision to heal doesn't mean your emotions, you're going to feel better right away, that you're going to feel, no. It's just like when you go to the gym and you decide, I want them Angela Bassett arms, because my daughter, can I just tell you, this will make y'all laugh. My daughter took the TV remote and put it in her sleeve and waved it and said, look, mommy, my arm look like yours. I said, you trifling for that, Zariel. Trifling for that. Don't come for me. She's funny. Wow. Okay. But no, it starts with a decision. And I think sometimes we keep our emotions on a pedestal. We don't have emotional discipline. So we're following behind every feeling. And if it don't feel good, we're shutting down and quitting. The same way you got to go in there, and maybe your personal trainer says one more rep and you don't think you can do it, but you do it, you get it done, even though it's uncomfortable. And then later you see the reward. You get them Angela Bassett arms, right? So I feel like people aren't being realistic sometimes about what the healing process entails. It starts with a decision, and every day after you make that first choice that I am going to heal. And then if you're really bold, you'll say, I am healed.
That's right.
And then you'll take inventory of your thoughts, your choices, your words, and your actions, and you'll make everything line up with your decree that you are healed. It's a process and it's work. It's
Wow.
work. But it starts with the
Jumping in the
decision.
chat, girl. They jumping in the chat.
Hey, chat.
They jumping in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. So this is just really amazing. So what I realized is we've been actually knowing each other. This is our 10-year anniversary.
Stop.
Yes. I was like,
A
wait a
whole
minute. I was like,
decade. Oh my
can you
God.
believe it? So I was like in the beginning. So I was like one of your, I was just, let's say the first year of your
Yes.
client crew. And that
At
is
the
so awesome. I didn't
beginning.
come in, and here's the thing. I know Natasha, so I ain't questioned. It's so funny because when we look back now, we be reading reviews hard, right? And there's just trust in the process. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I know who Natasha is, so I know what she's gonna bring. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
we was doing that work. That's awesome, and congratulations. Yes, yes,
That's
yes,
incredible. I did not realize it had been 10
yes.
years.
Because I went
I
through my
love you
email.
so much. That's when you
See?
know the love is real. 10
Yes,
years later, we still yapping, talking about healing. I love
yep.
it.
And we saw each other. Was it in 2019? We ran into each other.
Hmm.
Where were we? We were at a health food store, someplace. I was in DC.
Yeah, we was just out and about shopping and getting
And
stuff.
I didn't even, and you had, I think your hair was wrapped up, and I didn't know that you was like, Aisha, and I was like, what the? And that's when you told me you had to do it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You
Wow.
were there, Aisha, when I was building my business with less than 600 square feet in the hood of Suitland.
You were doing it from your home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time, the reason I even got commercial space
Mm-hmm.
was because Groupon kept calling me
Mm-hmm.
saying people are looking for you on our site.
Wow.
And they said, but we have a policy that says you have to have a commercial brick and mortar business.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, either change your policy, Groupon, so we can do business, or call me back when, I'll let you know when I get commercial. So that's what
That's
made me start
beautiful.
thinking about it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw the place in Riverdale and I had fallen in love with it. We're actually getting ready to bring back those classes that you were attending. We're
Yeah.
bringing those back because it's time to bring the women together. And I'm fascinated as it's been 10 years. 10 is the number of mastering a thing.
But how about you were pushed into your greatness, okay?
I really
Because
was.
Groupon called you.
Yeah.
And you was like, wait a minute. God was like, I need you to do blah, 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 blah. And you just got pushed into, well, let me go ahead and find this space.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But that's how spirit works, though, right? It's like what you don't know will always be revealed if you just wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you just wait for it, you'll get a clue and a nugget will come that you can use.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. And you know that you're near the where I would go for yoga, Bikram yoga.
Mm-hmm.
It's in that Riverdale. Kendra, are you familiar with Kendra? It's the Bikram yoga studio in Riverdale, not far from East West Highway, in that
Okay.
little down there where the train station is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna have to
That's
pop
where
over there and
what's
check
the
it out.
name? She dope. It's black owned.
Oh, I love it.
And it's clean. It's beautiful. It's very nice. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
it's right
can't
now
wait.
in the same neighborhood. So y'all need to connect.
Yes, we
Get on
do.
the shelves. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yep.
what I love about you in this podcast. You really have always, from the time I met you, been one to bring people together and give resources to your community. And so I just want to publicly affirm you and applaud you for that, because we need all the resources we can get. For our
Absolutely.
community really is healing deep-rooted stuff.
Yes.
We got to heal our own stuff. We got to heal the ancestral stuff. So we need to know what each other is doing,
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So, okay. So if a client, so tell us, okay, let's talk about the exercise we did, whatever way we can explain it, where they can kind of grasp it. When you talked about, I want y'all to listen. Okay. This is important. You're going to have to get in touch with yourself. If you're not in touch with yourself, it might be a little awkward, but Thema, explain it the best way you can, as far as, because here's the thing. We live in a society, we live in a capitalist society. We need money to thrive. We also need resources, and more than anything, faith and trust in a higher power, right? So you talked about how to draw money to you through reaching your orgasm in sex, whether it's with yourself or with somebody else.
Look, I should have brought a ponytail holder for this interview. I didn't know. Oh, let me stand his head for this part. Okay, so listen, this is how this works.
Elena, what's up, baby sister? She said, I'm all ears.
So this is how this works, ladies. Okay. Step one, you got to understand that you are a woman. You are the receiver. That's why our yonis go in to receive. So I don't even resonate with someone showing up who doesn't bring an offering. That's number one.
What's the offering? The way you
So
said it,
wait a minute. Listen,
don't
girl, I
bring an
got men in
offering. You
these
gotta
in
bring
this
an
good DMV frying
offering.
chicken for me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, they do well. I asked them to do. I don't accept anybody that don't come in on their knees now and feed me good and rub my feet because I work
Must bring an
hard and
offering. Must. I know that's right. You better teach. She
so,
said,
so the first step, and I teach this in one of my master classes, it's called Power Pleasure. I teach this principle. You got to get organized, and I don't think women know how to properly place people. So that's where the first mistake is, because you'll get a fuckboy, right? And you'll treat him like he's a king. And then you wonder why your empire starts dwindling down and getting depleted. Everything is energy. Can y'all put that in the chat box? Like, everything is energy.
you
So
got that.
properly placing allows you to engage at the right level. So that's number one. So for me, my sexuality is a part of my spiritual practice. Every orgasm is a prayer. And I'm very intentional because I'm not a casual woman. I can't have casual sex. Like, I'm just too deep. So I attract priests. I attract men who want to serve and deposit something of value. That's number one. Now I've gotten in tune in my body. I don't just, use my body every day. I live in my body. So I use deep breath work. And when I feel that energy rising in my body and I'm about to bust it wide open, I call down all my money. I'll be like, 15 grand. That's why I had to tie my hair, because I knew it was going down. I know my sisters, and when we get on this topic right here, I'm gonna tie this hair up because I know where we go. So literally allowing yourself to be intentional about where your mind and your spirit goes. Having a system for how you express your sensuality. I had one brother that came into my world, into my family of love. I have a family of love. And when he came over, I looked at him. I said, your chakras aren't balanced. Come on, lay down. You can't touch me until your energy is reconfigured. It's going to be very difficult for a woman to bridge calling in your financial abundance with your pleasure practices if you're inconsistent with your self-care and your spiritual hygiene. I got roots under this bed for a reason. I got crystal grids in the corners of my home for a reason. Anybody that is not a vibrational match can't even cross my front door. Women aren't really taught to make love this way and establish a whole culture around how you express your sexuality and sensuality. But for me, it is sacred. Some of the best sermons I heard were on my back. Like, I have found God in my flesh. So it's not perversion. It's not imbalance. It's really sacred. And then I get my money. Because pleasure is a powerful energy. It's a powerful force. And so when you feel that heat, temperature rise, all of that, I'm going to need you to know what to do with that energy.
That face, and I know you so dead serious.
I'm dead ass. I don't put the glasses off, like, listen here now.
She said, I'm dead ass serious. I
mean that thing, because I've seen women's lives change.
That's what I was about to say, because you're a testimony, you know the work, and you've lived through it constantly. It's always evolving with you, so you know what it is personally, and then you have your clients.
Yeah, even with one of my husbands, I'll share this because, I keep it 100. I don't have a problem being transparent. But even when I was going through that cancer release, I included pleasure as part of my medicine. So one of my husbands, who's very good with his lingam, right? He's very good. He's very good. Okay. God bless him. That's his spiritual gift now. Don't you laugh at his spiritual gift now. Okay, he's blessed and highly favored.
Use it.
I hadn't told him what was going on because I wasn't ready to yet. But we were making love. And as he entered my body, he hit the tumor, right? And he says, baby, there's something here I need to heal.
Mm.
And
I know that's right.
I
A
said,
doctor in it.
I said, he better go ahead and knock this tumor out of my body today, God. What are you doing? And everybody in that neighborhood that day knew that it was being done. So my point is, pleasure. I thought pleasure is medicine, ladies. Hallelujah. That's what it sounded like. Hallelujah. Yes, it did. So we got to return to some of that ancient wisdom. We got to start remembering again that everything is energy. And no matter what the need is, whether it's healing, whether it's money,
Mm-hmm.
like you got to figure out how to let your mind, body, and spirit integrate in a way that creates the outcomes you're looking for in your life.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So Thema, share with us some of your client success stories and like the time. And then if you had clients that just they didn't buy into it fully, but they may have had to come back and get back on track.
Yeah. I'm an intense energy. So for those of you who are new to me and you're interested in working with me, there is literally like this process of preparing. I've had women say, I've been following you on YouTube for 2-3 years, and I knew I had to get ready for you, Thema. And that's a real thing because
You respect it.
I'm gifted. I'm like an excavator. I'm gonna drill to the bottom and figure out why are we dealing with fibroids? Why are we dealing with why you can't get married and you want to be married? Like what's going on? I get to the bottom of things. And so I've had some clients that came in and they had to wait to come in, and then I get ones that's newbies and they just went ahead and booked it. And they look at me like a deer in highlights within like 5 minutes. They're like, wait a minute, I didn't know I was signing up for all of this. One of the things that's distinct is I only service my clients one-on-one. So whereas other spaces, and I'm not saying that they're not doing it well, I'm just telling you how I work. Other spaces, you could get in there, you can have your wine with 7 different women and all of that. But me, I'm not actually there to make sure you're comfortable.
I'm not steaming my vagina with nobody else.
You know, like if your comfort is more important than your healing, I'm not going to be able to do that for you. That's just not how my gift is set up. I'm really going to ask you, what is your womb story, and interview your body.
And let me say something. That's what I would say. So Thema, you were the first person to do my steam. So the first time I saw them talk about yoni steams was on one of the reality shows.
Yeah.
And I said, I saw it. I was happy that people were doing it, but I was like, do they really understand the spiritual, sacred healing part of it? It's not a fad.
It's not.
But some people gonna fall in as a fad, and that's okay. But they're gonna get in alignment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like if friends say, oh, let's, they have different things. For me, like where I go here, and LaShawn is so dope, she doesn't do you with other people unless someone, like you said, they want to do a party. Because I think to me, that's my time.
Yeah.
I'm not on the phone. I'm not, she makes you write your fears.
Yes.
All of those things. So if you have never had a yoni steam, I'm telling you,
it's life changing.
The greatest gift to you. And I remember I was married at that time. I'm gonna get a little transparent. Don't nobody call me though. Anyway, I will never forget with my former husband, and I don't know, because I know you're supposed to wait like 24 hours. I don't even know, whatever. But let me explain. I remember like that intense, like it was wild for him. It was like an out of body experience, like because what happens is you get all of the blood, that circulation, and that throbbing and that pulsating, and that lets you know how we exchange energy anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very
man. I went to a conference one time, and I was walking towards my seat, and this guy was running. I thought he was going to run past me. Thought he saw somebody he was trying to catch. He ran up to me. He said, I don't know what you've done to my wife, but thank you. I'm going to make sure I'm paying for her session every month.
Yes.
So the brothers know, like, the power of a woman being connected to her yoni and understanding how to channel that energy, because it's kind of like you don't know what you know until you do. So when you're
Mm,
in the womb sauna experience with me, your body's naturally kegering, and the vaginal tissues are the most absorbent on a woman's body. Your body knows what to do with the herbs that came from the earth. Most of the time, women need my help with what to do with their heart, and
mm,
how their lack of brain coherence and heart coherence is playing out in their womb health.
mm,
So I help them move out sexual traumas. I help them move out the negative criticism the boss said passively before you came in for your session. And, we're moving and clearing that energy. There's
mm,
times in my office I've had to open up the windows and the doors. We got to get this demon up out of here. So it's real holistic. It's real deep spiritual healing.
mhm,
And that's part of the reason I only service women one-on-one. And secondly, I service mostly Black women, and we tend to be overgivers. Most of us don't have enough time where things are just about us and nobody
mhm,
else.
mhm. Yep.
So that's another reason why I service my clients one-on-one. It's really about me, you, God, and this pot, and what we're
Mhm,
getting ready to clear. Each
mhm,
client sets an intention at the
mhm,
beginning of the session. At the end, I give a regimen that lets you know where you need to focus the
mhm,
majority of your healing work.
mhm.
So if we uncovered a lot of stuff in your emotional body, good. If you need to put the stake down, okay, good, we'll do that. But we really fine tune it so you know exactly what you need to work on
Mhm,
until your next session.
mhm.
Yep.
Now,
So
do you offer virtual sessions?
I do. So, girl, that was so many interesting things have happened over the years. One, women would show up with a suitcase and they done flew in from the UK. I wasn't prepared for that. I was like, wow.
Wow,
But
awesome.
then I noticed that women that couldn't get to me, that I would service virtually, they were still getting the same physiological outcomes. And that was blowing my mind.
God,
And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking it's all about getting to these herbs and water, but there were women who weren't able to do that, that were still able to release their fibroids.
because you make a determination, like
Yeah,
you
and
said.
because everything is energy, so the body's obeying your consciousness.
Excuse me. Hmm.
And if you can align with the truth that you can heal it, then it gets healed.
Hmm. You better say it, Tamer.
It really is that simple. I know it sounds oversimplified, but like that's why my hashtag is heal everything. Like there's not anything that can knock at your door that you
Mm,
can't answer.
mm,
So all of that wimpy energy, let that go and stand in your power.
mm,
Figure it out.
hmm. You
Do the
know,
necessary work.
it's funny because me and a friend and my sister, we were having a conversation a few days ago, and we were talking about how our generation, we're in our 50s,
Mm-hmm.
how we went through different things, and it could be people in their 30s and 40s that we went through different things. However, we went through them and got through them, figured it
Yes.
out. Parents didn't
Yes.
even know. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It wouldn't, whatever level of trauma it may or may not have been, we figured it out and it made us even stronger. But also, not also knowing what to do with the energy could also have us in the
Mm.
situation we are in now, right? So we made
Yeah.
it through, but something could have been missed, and it's okay. But that's
Yeah.
when we come to the healing and the therapy.
Yeah. You close the gap. One of the things I learned from Joe Dispenza, and I agree, is
Mhm.
that memories are overrated.
Mm.
So because so many Black women, like you're saying, in their 50s, 60s, even 40s, I see in my
Mhm.
work, have never said certain things, there's been this cultural push to tell your trauma story and recover from your trauma. But I've discovered that my focus is my
Mhm.
superpower.
Mhm.
How many times am I going to tell this pain story and use it as the reason I don't have what I want today?
Mm.
So I no longer have women zoom in on that. I
Mhm.
know you've had trauma and pain. What you're unfamiliar with is peace and closure. So
Mhm.
I'm going to teach you how to change your narrative from that
Mhm.
happened to me to that happened for me.
Mm.
And now we're
Mm.
going to move on, and it's okay. I don't think women know they have permission to forget.
Mm.
It's okay, because when your brain, this is the brain research. When
Mhm.
you start reminiscing about what happened at 6, your brain doesn't know we're in 2023.
Huh.
And so everything physiologically begins to remember 6-year-old life.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Mm-hmm.
your body's responding to something that's not even happening today.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's so funny that I said I think that sharing our story, like they say, share your story can help someone else. I think it's also in the sharing, in the words that we use, like you said. How do
Mm-hmm.
you, what words are you using and what energy are you in when you're
Yes.
sharing the story? You know what I'm saying? I think that's important.
Yeah.
That when you stop and you don't stop because of shame. It's like, okay, I've done this, I've healed. Like some people do interviews, like
Mm-hmm.
public. They're like, okay, and I'm not doing the interview. I'm not talking about this anymore. It's like I put it out there. I did what I need to do, and I'm moving on because you're right. You relive it each and every time, and you
That
don't want
energy is,
that to
you
then.
can't escape it. The
Yes.
energy of that narrative. And it's not like, I like that you say it's not shame, because I
Mhm.
did a whole teaching. I have a Facebook group of women. It's like 1,800 of us if y'all want to come over there and play with us. And I did a live in the group, and I said I was teaching on the difference between being embarrassed and shame.
Mhm.
It's okay to be embarrassed and be like, I can't believe I did that, but I did. But you
Mhm.
don't have to hold the shame of it. So when you decide, I'm just not going to talk about that anymore, it's not shame, it's wisdom.
Mm.
It's wisdom because you figured out, oh, no, 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 no. It doesn't serve me to put my body and my focus on that anymore. My
Mm.
favorite book, A Course in Miracles, says,
Mm.
my past is behind me. It can touch me not. There are
Mm.
past successes and past failures I just don't talk about simply because it's in my past. I don't
Mhm.
care. I don't care
Mhm.
enough to pour that energy up, to pour that file in
I've
my
been wanting
brain.
to Course in Miracles. I've been wanting to take that class for years, so I got to get into it.
Girl, it's dense.
I heard it's everything. I heard
But
it's
it changed my life. And I
mm.
liked what the books it spun off. So one of my other favorite books is A Return to Love by
Mhm.
Marianne
Yeah,
Williamson.
mhm.
And she does a great job of breaking down A Course in Miracles in that book.
Yeah, she's dope. She's
Hmm.
dope. So tell me, let me ask you. Okay, so you said define what is a family of love. You mentioned a
Oh yeah, yeah,
family of
yeah. So
love.
I
What's
ain't got no
family of love?
shortage of love or pleasure in my life now. So
Okay.
when I went through, so I got married right out of college. That marriage, I outgrew the dynamic, and so we divorced. Then I
Wow.
met Zah's father, and in 2018, I ended that covenant as well. We didn't get legally married because I was wiser and he had no assets for me. So we just we just went ahead and brought Zah here. That was the assignment. So after that, that was traumatic though. That year was the only year in my business I took a loss.
Mm.
Um, I could not have prepared for the impact of having to end my family dream, how that would affect the business. That was
Mm.
tough. Um, but then a man came into my world who was everything I had put on my vision board, my beloved to this day.
Mm.
And he changed the trajectory of what I would accept. And he taught me who I really was and was part of my
Mm.
recovery. So then after that, I said, it's a lot of beautiful men out here and I should know them. And so I realized that I had a habit of putting all of my eggs in one basket, even if I saw the holes in the basket.
Mm. Say that
Even if,
again. Wait a minute. I think that right now. Want to know why? Because as you stated, women we're nurturers, we're givers. We want to nurture and fix, right? So can you say that again? Because I want
yeah.
everyone that's watching now in real time and
Hmm.
watching later, and
Hmm.
even myself to heal that, to hear
Yeah.
that.
No, it's a
So
serious wound.
it's for real.
Because look, it is your mother who teaches you what you deserve.
Mm.
So we're dealing with a generation of women who watch their mothers be dissatisfied and loyal.
Mm.
And I
You
refuse.
better come through with the come through.
I refuse. So I noticed that the men that I was attracting into my life who wanted to court me, they were great men. They were
Mm-hmm.
human. right? And as they would make their offers, I would be like, I can accept everything, but you missing this. And I've made a vow to myself that I would never commit to a lifestyle that is not going to be satisfying. So why don't we do this? Why don't I meet with you once a quarter? Why don't I meet with you on Wednesdays? And I got organized because divine order is required. I got me a spreadsheet now. And I marked down children's names, birthdays, and I had very clear I had very clear conversations, and I have very clear covenants. I have very clear covenants with the men in my life. They would lay on a sword for me, and I would do the same for them. However, I properly place. So everybody's not king. Everybody's not beloved. With my fuck boys, they're not the bishop, but they good deacons. You know what I mean? They good deacons. And so, you're not doing this? I am. I'm doing it well. So
you can have a spiritual fuck boy.
Yeah. How can you not? Let's have that real conversation.
What is a fuck boy?
Somebody that you just have a sexually based relationship with. Because women who have a minimum of 7 orgasms a week live long and prosper. They have less incidence of dementia, arthritis, diabetes. Like, there is a science behind the power of taking care of your sexual health. Some of my men, I say, listen, I need you to come over. This is for my health. Now I need you to take care.
Wait a minute. Look at this one, Pastel.
She said, not a spreadsheet.
Oh, not a penis spreadsheet.
Judge yourself. Judge yourself.
That is hilarious. Yes.
No, it's hilarious because we're not used to women speaking this freely and actually living this lifestyle and being satisfied with it. We're used to women, being a good girl, following all the rules, getting married, being in that marriage, losing her edges, unsatisfied. Now, you know what I mean? My skin is glowing.
Not edges.
Girl, you need some edge control?
She said losing, Pastel, she said losing your edges. No, for real. Your vagina hair.
Your whole pelvis. Listen, let me tell you what my pelvic floor therapist taught me, because I was a big baby. She came out 9 pounds, 11 ounces, 22 inches long. So yes, they are necessary. I will always have a rotation of low vibrational men and high vibrational men. And that's because I've learned the art of transmutation. I know what to do with my yoni. I know how to move the energy. I know what to accept and what I don't. And I don't recommend that women who don't have that knowledge just jump into this world. It would be irresponsible and toxic. But I don't have a problem. Like, one of my men said to me, he's great. I told him, I said, I feel like when you were in your mother's womb being formed, God was thinking about Thema. I feel like you were made for me. I feel like that. Like that. And
that, you feel like that sexually or overall?
Overall. So I'm multi-layered. I'm not a casual lay. So men, from our first encounter, we are making love because I'm love. If I'm present, there's going to be a loving exchange. I know who I am. And so I have deep connections, even with my folk. They're deep, sensual, powerful, sacred connections. And that's why I created the masterclass about this, because I know there's a learning curve here.
But wait a minute, you need to promote the masterclass, because people, we women, hold on. I can't tell nobody this, but I'm going to write this shit down.
It's called Power of Pleasure. It's on the website under the class tab. It's a 6-week experience. We'll probably open enrollment again in a couple of weeks. It's coming soon. But the power of pleasure, baby, you got to get, when y'all go look at the picture of me on the page, y'all gonna be like, that daggone Thema. So I told him, he said, Thema, I understand why you have other men. He says, I prefer monogamy. He said, but I know I'm not enough for you with the challenges that I face. And I wrapped him in my arms and I said, in this moment, you're enough. And when I leave here, you don't have to worry about if I have what I need. I take the highest care of my needs.
I know that's right. You claim.
And here we are in our love exchange like 4 years later. Most of the men in my family, I love my husbands. They have been in covenant with me for 4+ years.
So you refer to all of them as your husbands, but even though it's not a see that whole paper thing is something different anyway. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The legal
Yeah. If I establish a covenant and it is a sacred covenant, then yeah, you're my husband. I told my other one, my Virgo, I told him, I said, listen, you know what I love about us? You come over, you do what we need to do. You pray over me, you bless me, we eat good, you give me all this husband energy, and then you go home. I don't have to wash your socks. I don't have to, I don't have to do none of that. I love this life. I do. It ain't for everybody. But I've made a commitment to myself that I would not make the same decisions that I've seen the women in my lineage make when it comes to their love life.
Now,
I would do something different.
Do you go to their homes? Okay.
Yeah, I go to their homes. They come to mine. One of my incredible lovers, we had a thing about swanky hotels, so we would always meet once a quarter in swanky hotels.
I love your ass. What's your sign?
A Gemini.
Girl.
And I would tie the bells around my ankles. We would disturb the whole hotel. And so
she make me sick.
I'll be there with my Palo Santo stick and all my like glory. He would just let me have my way. I just loved it. I love it.
I love it. Yes, girl.
And he would call me a week later and say, "Baby, I got that promotion at work. Let me go celebrate you." Yeah, like we're intentional. We're not casual.
I know that's right.
We're not casual.
Right. So let me ask you, when you're doing your work with your clients, because self-care and protecting yourself, like you say, you open up the windows, so you got to shift energy. Like when we're burning like sage and all this, we need to open up so we can shift the energy and let it leave the home. How do you protect yourself? And how do you recommend? So I'm real for real. Like when people come to my house, if like, especially I lived in Maryland, I used to have events at my home all the time. I will always burn sage and or frankincense and myrrh at all doors and windows. Because I would say, because I'm over nice and kind, right? So I got my people that sit in the corner, even on social media, they be like, who this? I don't know that. Y'all know it now. They be like, who this? Why they talking to you? Because I'm over nice and kind, right? Yeah. So I said, well, let me burn this frankincense and myrrh, just in case I invited somebody. And all their spirits and energies that don't need to come. Because I know that by the time they can't even come to or through the door, right? Because I put it there. So how do you, and then when they leave, yes, y'all, I clean my toilets, I wipe handles down, I shift that energy. Hey, Bernie, you're on time. You can watch it and repeat it. It'll be up on YouTube as well. Yeah, so how do you shift your energy, and what tips and tools would you share with the audience?
So that's such a great question. First off, all of the spiritual work that I do is from the perspective that there are no threats. I don't believe, and I'm just telling y'all as an ordained interfaith minister what my beliefs are. I don't believe there's two powers. There's one, and it's God. So if there is a devil, it's under my feet and it's working for me, not against me. So everything I do is from a powerful mindset, not a fear mindset. So the energy management, I do black salt in the corners. I do my cinnamon brooms are at the door. I work with sigils, crystals, holy waters. I got water from the ocean on my shrine that I'll spray around. You know, for me, it's not that the power is in these tools. It's that I'm the goddess of my house.
You better say it again.
And I teach. And this is what Black women do. We set the standard for culture. So there's a spiritual culture. I like the candle, not because the candle is powerful. It's because I want the candle to represent the power I'm channeling through my intention. So even my daughter at 7 will open up the blinds and say, the moon is full, and go to her altar and start dressing her candles and put on the meditation music and beat her little drum, because that's what she sees her mother do as her spiritual practice. I'm expressing the culture of God. It's not that if somebody walks through my door with something on them, they can do anything in my house. You can't. I can only be threatened if I believe that I am. That's why cancer didn't tear me up. Because I know that I have God DNA in me. When I say I'm a child of God, that's not a phrase or figure of speech for
Mm,
me. I'm God's child on the earth with dominion and authority. So whatever tools you decide, some people use elementals. I like elementals because I'm just a bright, vibrant energy. I love flowers and I like that. But some people just want to use their afoshe, their words. They want to speak things
mhm,
into existence. Okay, that's cool. Just make a decision and work those tools.
mhm,
But there is data that shows certain things that God put in the earth. When you work with those things, it creates certain outcomes, like the sage. Like the
mhm,
burning of frankincense isn't just good for spiritual purposes, but as you inhale the aroma of the frankincense, which has been known to support with releasing and clearing things out of the body, like it
mhm.
all begins to make sense. You know?
You better teach
You
Thema,
know I'm and I got time
and she
today.
gotta come back. She
Ooh,
gonna have to come back, y'all. Everybody like this is good.
I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it too.
Yes, the honesty, the truth, and the wisdom is very, very important. And as women, we cannot be afraid to learn these things, to be in those things, not to just do it today, but just to live it and make it a practice, because it goes back to our ancestral roots.
We need to know our traditions and we need to be in a position to create traditions,
Mhm.
right? Like, let's create things. I love the fact that my daughter is already well versed in her
Mhm.
spiritual gifts.
At 7.
Okay.
See, she a mini ordained minister.
She's the
Mini
closest thing
age.
to Thema Azize Serwa on the planet. I hope the world is ready. My daughter is she is the better version of me. I started laying hands on people at 2. She
Mm,
started at 1.
mm.
Everything I've done, she beats me by a year. I started my first business at 6. She started hers at 5. She
What's
takes
her
little socks and
business?
turns them into earrings and puts
Are you
crystals on them. Yeah. She has won awards at business fairs and everything.
wow.
Oh, I'm fascinated. She is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I made her, like literally.
Mm.
And it fascinates me seeing her power. She knows.
Mhm.
When a few years ago, my mother got sick. I'm gonna share this quick testimony. I know we're almost out of time. My mother got sick and was in the hospital. The same weekend, my friend that was watching Zai accidentally burnt her eyes to the white meat. My
Oh,
daughter laid her hands over her eyes and healed her eyes. You would never know she had that injury. She
wow.
had everybody on the internet saying eyes heal, and you can't even tell. That's
Wow.
what I mean when I say position yourself to
Mm,
create the generational blessings. That's how you
mm,
cancel the generational curses.
You better
But
say it. Position yourself. Say it again.
position yourself to be the generational blessing.
Position yourself to be the
That's how
generation
you
blessing.
cancel the generational curses by
Mm,
not repeating the same thoughts, choices, and behaviors.
and make a decision. Tamar, you have given a word of words today. Okay?
Well, I didn't know he was going to preach. This
No,
was an
but you
interesting
but
sermon, though. This was
yes, I just say we just move in the spirit, but I knew that you was going to bring it. I'm just so proud of you when I see like the work. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to,
yeah,
in order to be where you are and to continue to grow and expand, you have to do your personal work, your
yeah,
personal healing.
yeah.
You got to
And
look
I
at
wouldn't
yourself
have it
in the
any other
mirror.
way.
Yeah, you
I
got to
don't
look
want
at
to be
yourself in the
fraudulent.
mirror. Yeah, and you'd be like, wait a minute, I need to be authentic. I need to do better. I need to do me first. I need to take
Yeah,
care of this. So that is truly a blessing. And then to just, as you say, as the sisters are sitting on the pot and getting their healing, you're in it with them,
I
and
am.
that's important, that is truly important. Then you do your self-care when you know you need to do your self-care and your personality and your spirit. You was like, God, you don't put this on my things to do list. And it's
I
funny
was so
because
upset.
no, for real, because I have real conversations with God. Like people are like,
Got
oh, you
to.
can't talk to God like this. I've been like, wait a minute. You told me it is
Hmm.
not my worry, not my concern. Why am I going through this? But also,
Yep.
as I said, that's me then release it. If you know God is to handle it, why you handling it? You just get up and do what you got to do and mind your business.
Yeah.
And God
If
work
you
it out.
can't be real with your God, then get another one. I don't know what to tell you because the God is my foundation
Mm-hmm.
for everything that I
That's
am.
what's
I
in this.
gotta be real.
Mhm. Yes, honey. Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We have had the honor, the privilege of having Thema Azize Serwa on with us. Let me explain something to y'all. If you want to get in touch with her, it is the wombsauna.com. She does virtual classes as well as healing sessions. She has a multitude of things she does, so please go to the website. I didn't even go through her whole bio because it's a lot of a lot of things. She got degrees in this, and degrees, they matter, but they don't matter. Spiritually, she's done the work. You understand? So she's done the schooling and she's done the work. You know, so if you want to reach out, like I told you, she's the first person that gave me my yoni steam, and that was in 2013. So we're celebrating our 10-year yoni steam university.
I love it.
Yes, Yoniversity. Yes. Thank you for your yes, Thema. I love and appreciate you, and I just bless you for all the work that you're doing on yourself, with your daughter, and with your clients, because you are making the world, the universe, a greater and better place. You know you dope.
I love you too.
love you.
The love is mutual. The love is mutual. Thank you for having me. What a treat.
Thank you. And please, all of the watchers in real time, thank y'all so much. I mean, the messages, the posts, the compliments and comments have been amazing.
Yeah.
And we truly appreciate you. If you all missed the show or you came on late, Bernie, you can go back and watch it in real time. It will be on YouTube, my Facebook page, and all of the episodes you can always go back and watch. Stay dope. Okay, so you know I'm gonna be home, right?
Okay, we got the play now.
The 25th of April through the 30th. I'm coming home. I'm doing the Baltimore Comedy Factory on the 27th. Okay. That's the Thursday. So I'm gonna try to play with y'all. Saturday, I'm going to Jersey. I go see my daddy.
Okay. So I got between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Look, for my eye clothes, because you know I'm fitty too. I be getting tired sometimes. Yes, honey, you better give them breasts. Give it to them. So I'm trying to play with y'all before I get on my plane on Sunday. But see, y'all demanding. Everybody want their individual time.
I know. We got to do something together. I'm gonna try to come to the show though and see you.
Yes.
I want to see you.
And I shout out you and all the yonis you have steamed. You need a yoni steam. You need a yoni steam. You need a yoni steam.
Hey.
Get your yoni. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you.
I love you, D-Bow. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for checking out another dope episode of I Know Dope People with my girl, my sister, Thema Azize Serwa. She is dope. Go to the wombsauna.com. You can follow her on all social media platforms at the Womb Sauna. Check her out. I'm telling you, will not, well, you're already seeing the show, you will not be disappointed. So if you got something in your shana that you can like, I don't know if people gonna really be able to take me if I say I want some husbands.
Girl, do it.
She has laid out the work for you to do what you got to do to get your pleasure principle pleasures. I'm Queen Aishah, peace and power. You've been watching I Know Dope People. Love ya. Hey, thank you. Peace.